Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're opening the case file on a story that is just incredible. It's a real-life David versus Goliath, showing you exactly how one single tenant, with basically just his own curiosity, kicked off a rebellion from inside his own apartment, and now a corporate real estate giant is paying very, very close attention. Let's get right into it. So, it all kicks off with this simple but honestly terrifying question, something that could happen to any of us, right? Especially in a city like New York. You get that email, you open that bill, and your electricity cost isn't just high, it's just wrong. It's impossibly high. What's the first thing you do?
Well, for one tenant at the Eugene, this super high-end luxury apartment building in Manhattan, this wasn't a what if. This was his life. We're going to call him Detective Allan, and his power bill suddenly rocketed to over $500 a month. That is a staggering 3.5 times what he was used to paying for that time of year. Just wild.
And this quote? This is the moment the whole case breaks wide open. Detective Allan finds his first huge clue. He discovers that his neighbor, who lives on the total opposite side of the elevator machine room, got hit with the exact same bizarre spike in their power bill. And that's when it just clicked for him. No way. This cannot be a coincidence.
So that crazy bill, it wasn't just some random overcharge. It was the loose thread. And Detective Allan, well, he was about to pull on it and unravel a story so much bigger than anyone could have possibly imagined. Okay, so Detective Allan starts digging. And what's his first major discovery? A huge, and I mean huge, potential conflict of interest. He finds out that his landlord, the Eugene, and his power company, a company called Metergy, they aren't separate businesses at all. They're both owned by the same massive corporation, Brookfield Properties. And armed with this fact, he goes right to management. He confronts them directly, spelling out this exact conflict. Now, they tried to tell him, oh, no, they operate as totally separate companies. But for Detective Allan, this connection changed everything. This was not just about a high bill anymore. And you know, the deeper he dug, the weirder things got. The mystery of the bill was starting to feel less like an error and more like, well, like a conspiracy. And he was right in the middle of it. So with this new knowledge, Detective Allan didn't just complain. Oh no, he launched his own incredibly detailed investigation. He started surveying other tenants, and what do you know? He finds similar stories. Like one woman who got a $200 bill after being gone for 3 weeks with everything in her apartment unplugged. He dug into public records, building plans. He even took his complaint straight to Metergy's CEO. And the crucial part, he documented everything. He just completely leaned into this role. He became the investigator, a self-described white hat hoarder, just collecting every single email, every photo, every piece of data to build his case, piece by undeniable piece. You gotta love it. Allan's investigation just got more and more intense. I mean, he basically turned his apartment into an incident room, just building this mountain of evidence, collecting clues to figure out exactly what was going on.
And pretty soon, his investigation led him away from his own power usage to a much bigger question. What if a flaw in the building itself was the problem? Was it possible that he and his neighbors were secretly paying for the building's own machinery?
This was the breakthrough. After he went all the way up to the CEO's office, Metergy finally sent technicians, and they found it. One of his AC units was pulling a massive 9 amps of power while it wasn't even on, not cooling, nothing. His theory? A heating element was stuck on, just burning electricity 24/7. And the thing is, this wasn't just a random guess. He'd already noticed his AC units were blowing hot air, even when they were shut off. He found out another tenant who had crazy high bills got their problem solved only after their AC unit was completely replaced. And get this, Allan himself had already asked management to replace his faulty units, and they had just ignored him. The evidence was all pointing to a huge systemic problem with the building. So why would management ignore this? Well, an outside analysis estimated that the cost to actually fix these busted AC units across the entire building could be somewhere around $5 million. And suddenly, their refusal to help him starts to make a whole lot of sense, doesn't it?
So how did Maturgy and Brookfield react to this tenant doing all this work for them, uncovering a potential multi-million-dollar problem? Did they thank him? Nope. They responded with threats. While he was actively fighting the charges, trying to solve the puzzle for them, they sent him an urgent collection notice. They demanded over $2,500 and threatened to shut off his power. They clearly weren't interested in finding a solution. They were interested in shutting him up.
So this wasn't just a billing mistake anymore. This was the smoking gun, a faulty AC unit, a potential $5 million repair bill, and a pattern of intimidation. This exposed a massive building-wide issue that it seems they really wanted to keep under wraps. And this is when everything changed. Detective Allan realized his own personal fight had consequences for every single person living in the Eugene. He hadn't just found a problem in his apartment. He had found something that could help everybody in his building. This is where it gets so good. He didn't just uncover billing mistakes and bad wiring. He uncovered the immense raw power of a single, determined person armed with facts. His fight was about to become everyone's fight. And that is how Fight the Good Fight was created. It's a brand new tenants' rights group, inspired directly by this investigation, built to unite the residents of the Eugene and to fight for their rights together. It's happening because, look, one tenant, he was a problem they could try to bully and ignore. But all the tenants, banding together with a united voice, these corporate giants are now facing organized, collective power, and they should be very, very scared. And this right here is the next chapter. It is no longer one man versus Goliath. It is now all the tenants of the Eugene, standing shoulder to shoulder. The story of Detective Allan is just the ultimate proof of what one person can do when they just refuse to be silenced. It is an absolutely incredible, uplifting story of fighting back. Now, just take a second and imagine what we can all accomplish together. A new chapter is being written as we speak, not by a corporation, but by the residents themselves. It all started because one person dared to ask a question about their bill. So the only question left is, are you ready to be a part of it?